Welcome back to Untitled Label, where we strive for greatness through optimization. So I'm trying something new where I am actually here at Eclectic Studios here in Houston, Texas. In this episode of Untitled Label, I'll take a second to reflect on the 4 months that I've been a field service engineer. Now, it's been a while since I've actually made one of these videos. I was supposed to make them every week, but I haven't. Life's been kind of busy. I've been managing my studio. I've been working this job full time, and you can imagine life gets a little bit hectic. So, in today's video, I'm going to take a 4 month look back at what the job's been like and fill you in on what it's been like to be a field service engineer. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what's the most interesting aspect of the job. So, for me, it has to be being in the OR or the operating room environment. As you can imagine, it's kind of crazy. And for someone that's never actually seen a surgery being performed, I think this was kind of interesting in a way. Another thing that is pretty cool about this job is the technological aspect of what these robots are actually capable of doing. Yes, they're used for non invasive surgeries, but the practical application of just playing around with the robot arms, just the technical setup, and all the different components that go into making this whole thing work, I think that's actually pretty cool. So there's three components to this robot system. If you have a similar background like myself, you're coming from the Navy, say you worked on Ship Self-Defense System or SSDS, this is going to be right up your alley. You have a rack or a tower looking thing, which is kind of the brain of the system. Then you have this little console here where you actually operate the robot. And last but not least, you actually have the robot itself. So for anyone that came from, let's say, a fire controlman background where you're used to working on consoles, these types of racks, you're going to be right at home with this type of job. And of course, I'm sure what everybody probably wants to know is what it's like working with my current employer. It's been pretty good. Like I've mentioned, I felt like I made the right choice coming back to being a field service engineer. The guys and girls that I work with here in Houston are still pretty awesome, still amazing. Overall, the team dynamic is great. I think this is something that makes any job better or worse, depending on who you're working with. At the end of the day, I'm still getting paid to do a job. But I feel like when you have a good team environment, it makes things a lot easier. But part of the reason why I took this job was because of the long-term benefits that came with this job. By that, I mean the retirement opportunities and the amount of money that I could potentially make in the long run. And of course, how is Eclectic doing? Eclectic is doing pretty well. As you can see, we're here in Eclectic Studios. I have a spring collection coming out very soon, probably in the next 2 months or so. If you're here in Houston, make sure to stop by our studio and reach out to us on Instagram. With that said, I'll catch you on the next one.